Hello Ray, we've got your transmission out of your '08 Dodge 6.7 liter. This is what it looks like when it's all apart. Eric or Amanda will contact you with the cost estimates. I'll go over some things that we found on the inside with you, and we'll go from there. So on the valve body, one common wear point is going to be with these plugs that are inside this passage here. There's three individual plugs that one's here, one's here, one's here, and they'll move out of the way and you'll have oil come into a different passage depending on where the plug is located. It's very common for this area to wear out, and when that happens we'll have overdrive clutch failure. So we still have to vacuum check that, where we'll actually check this passage, and if we can pull vacuum through there when the valve is worn, or if this plug is worn, we'll be able to pull very little vacuum. But if things are nice and tight like they should be, then we'll be able to pull quite a bit of vacuum. So we still have to check that, but very often we have some wear. We think this one has some moderate wear, not severe. When we get to the pump, the TCC limit valve, so that's this valve here, this one is severely worn. The camera may not pick it up, but the valve is actually cocked in the bore like this, it's so worn. And the valve is a pretty active valve, but the material that they made the pump out of, this aluminum, is just not quite good enough. So in a situation like this, what we do is we bore this hole out and then we put a sleeve in there, and the sleeve is a better quality material, so that sleeve is what's going to prevent this wear in the future. So it's a much better part and much better piece, and a long-lasting repair. So this is just our input drum here. There's not really anything to show here, but these rubber pistons will have, or the pistons will have some rubber on them. This is one of your planetaries. It still looks fine. We have to clean everything up to inspect it closely, but from what we can see right now, our first impression is the planets and everything are fine, which is pretty good if this has 400,000 miles on it. This is the 2C clutch. If you look at the steel plate, there's no real heat checks there, so we know that this clutch here has not been slipping. This is a dark green lining, so it doesn't really look that bad. Again, no real slippage there. This is our 4C clutch here. Same situation, we really don't have any heat checks there. This one's the overdrive clutch. There is a little bit of slippage. You can see the black on the plate. This plate should be kind of like this one, where it's the same color all the way across. So we know that this one's gotten a little hot, and this is the one that the switch valve plug inside the valve body is probably got some wear on it. So this is our underdrive clutch. A little bit of heat here, but all in all not bad. This is a little reverse clutch. This is what they should look like. This is fine. And this is our reverse clutch. Same thing, it really doesn't look that bad. A little bit of wear on the sprag, but really not that bad. Again, just pistons over there, and here's our output planetary, or the rear planetary. The solenoid pack is right here. So this houses all the solenoids. It's the pressure control solenoid. If we're doing a recondition, we're going to replace this with a new one every time. If we're doing a repair, in this case, because we don't have any circuit type diagnostic codes, we could reuse this on a repair, but on a recondition, the solenoids themselves are have little pinto valves inside them that they will wear as well. So we try to take care of all the wear we can when we're doing a recondition. So on a recondition, we would replace that as well. So as far as the bearings and everything, we don't have them apart yet, but they're not usually prone to any problems. So these are all Torrington bearings. They don't usually have a problem there, but as I said, we're going to look at that as well. But we wouldn't anticipate there being any issues there. So the torque converter itself would be overheated because of that wear in that pump. So that wear that's inside that valve I was talking about, that's the oil from there is going to go into the torque converter. So that's going to be why we have an overheated torque converter. The pump itself, this is where your torque converter is going to slide into this inner gear, and then as this inner gear turns, it's going to turn those other gears. That's basically how the pump is going to work. And pump itself looks fine. Again, we got to clean it up and check our clearances, but we don't really see any issues there. Just a little bit of polishing and then check our clearances. We should be fine on that. again, for 400,000 miles, this actually looks pretty good. This wear that we saw in the pump, this bore wear that we see here, that we've seen as low as 100,000 kilometers. So for this thing to have, you know, in the neighborhood of 600,000 kilometers and still in the vehicle, that was pretty good. So that's basically what we found inside. As I said, Eric or Amanda will contact you with the different cost estimates, and we'll go from there. Thanks.